So you're thinking of moving to the DMV and Rockville, Maryland is high on your list. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about the pros and the cons of living in Rockville, because as there are so many positive reasons of living in Rockville, there's also some things you might want to think about. So let's get into that right now. My name is Brittany. I am a realtor here in the DMV. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Make sure you follow, subscribe, hit the notifications, all those good things, because while today we're talking about Rockville, I'm also talking about all parts and all good things DMV related. So you want to make sure you don't miss out. So one of the top features I think of living in Rockville is the transportation, because as you see behind me, we have the red line of the metro. Rockville is very much related to the red line of the metro. You probably hear it running behind me. And then you also have some bus stops here as well. And so that makes it really easy to get in and out of Rockville. If you're looking to commute to DC, you can get there probably in about 30 minutes by car, give or take a few by metro. But you're very easily able to access the northeast, northwest portion of DC. Now, if you're looking to commute to more of that southeast, southwest portion of DC, say that, make sure you have your notifications on to check out my videos where we talk about the southern portion of Maryland and how that makes you easily accessible to the southeast, southwest portion of DC. Now, if you also need to communicate to Virginia, you can do that from here as well. Alexandria, probably about 45 minutes from where I am here in Rockville, but it makes things accessible, right? Now, with that accessibility, there actually does come a challenge, because the traffic coming from Rockville, depending on where you're commuting to at the end of the day or in the morning, it can be a little bit intense. So that is like the downfall, but with the downfall, you still have a perk, because you can get on the metro if you don't feel like dealing with traffic that day, or if your car has an issue or whatever, or you just feel like doing something different, you can hop on the metro. So keep the traffic in mind, but know there's options if you move out to Rockville. All right, so now that we're talking about Rockville and the features of it, not only is there a benefit of living in Rockville for the public transportation, but also just the location of Rockville. I mean, you can't go wrong with it, because where it's located is not far from DC, like I was mentioning, but you're very close to like 270, not too far from 370, depending what part of Rockville you're in. And so you're near all the major highways and the beltway, so that you can easily get to other parts of Maryland, into DC, or even into Virginia if you need to. Now, Tyson's Corner from where I am here in Rockville isn't crazy far. And if you're a shopper, you know Tyson's Corner well, because Tyson's Corner has a little bit of everything. And here in Rockville itself, you have so many food options. If you have, with your car, if you need things like that, there's so many different car shops, furniture shops, like everything really is here on Rockville Pike. And then weaved throughout the city of Rockville, there's also a lot of features too. If you love to eat, there's a ton of restaurants. There's a phenomenal movie theater here, one of the fancier ones where you can buy a little drink if you're out with your friends or a spouse or whatever. Or if you want to go bowling, they have a really nice bowling alley that is more like a restaurant kind of club, not really club, but like an adult vibe. But you can also bring your friends here. Now, if you have kids, I have to say one of my favorite places to go in Rockville is the Little Town Museum. I love that little place. I'm actually hoping they branch out to other parts of Maryland, because it is such a cute place for your little ones to go. Make sure you check it out. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I just firmly believe in, when I find a business, I want to share that business with other people. And it's actually not far. So right now I'm still near the metro, and Little Town Museum is probably about 10 minutes from here. But what they offer is just a great play space for the kids, and they even have like $10 Tuesdays, right? So who wouldn't love that? Where you can just have fun and let your kids just have a great time and explore and let their minds run wild without being on a screen. So that's a cool feature. Now, another thing that I love in Rockville, if you follow me for more than 5 seconds, you're going to know my favorite grocery store in this area is Mom's Organic Market. I love that grocery store so much. I don't know if grocery stores can have groupies, but if they do, I'm definitely a Mom's Organic Store groupie. I don't know what that says about me in my life, but that grocery store is amazing. And this location here in Rockville also has, within their grocery store, they have the Naked Lunch, which is like a lunch bar. It's not for meat eaters. It is all plant-based, which is really cool, but it's all organic foods, all organic items. They make fresh juices as well. Now, if you want something a little different, there's a Whole Foods not far from actually right off of Rockville Pike as well. And that has plenty of eating options in there, whether you like meat or you're more plant-based. They actually have a great vegan burger spot. And then they also have like a sushi spot within that Whole Foods. And then right outside of Whole Foods, you have great restaurants. Seasons 52, I think, is one of my favorite. And then all along Rockville Park, again, also throughout Rockville, you just have a lot of different restaurants. You have some mom and pop ones that are a little smaller. You have some chain restaurants if you like that, or if you just want some more local restaurants that just have really good food, or you just need like a quick bite, you can easily grab it in Rockville Pike. So we've talked about all these features of Rockville, right? And usually, as with any place, when you have so many features of living in an area, it comes at a price point. So that is actually one of the cons of living in Rockville. Depending on your price point, it can be a little harder to get started here, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, because homes are generally going to start around that $600,000 range. So for example, this property located behind me that is on the market right now is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom townhome. It's listed around the $700,000 range. And so it gives you a lot of space, but if you're looking for a different lower price point, Rockville might be a little bit harder just because, and that depends too, I'll say, with where you're located in Rockville. Right now I'm in like a prime location, again, not too far from like all the shops and all the amenities that I just showed you. So if you go to like different parts of Maryland, you might find a property like this listed in the 5 or 6s or 3s or 4s. It really just depends where you are. Now, if you do want to find out more about those properties, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe and hit those notifications so that you stay in the loop and that you know what is for sale in the DMV area. All right, so since I was talking about food in Mom's Organic Grocery Store, I stopped by here because your girl's getting a little hungry. And like I was saying, they have a spot called the Naked Lunch. I actually wanted to show you around the grocery store. I know that may sound simple, but wanted to show you around it. And while I was sitting down to eat, however, there were so many people in the store. I ended up coming back to my car because there was nowhere for me to sit. But here we are. I'm going to eat my what did I get today? A sushi bowl. Again, it's all plant-based, so I love their clean ingredients. But let's talk about schools and another feature of living in Rockville. So I'm actually not going to talk about schools, and I actually really encourage you to do some research, see if this is a great fit for you if you do need schools. But I will say one of the reasons a lot of people move to Rockville or interested in Rockville is because they're looking into the school system. So again, do your research. I want you to check out the ratings and things online. That's very easy for you to access and just see if it is a good fit for you. Now, I will say in my former life, prior to getting into real estate, I was a school psychologist for about 10 years. And about 8 of those years I actually spent here in Montgomery County working in the schools, not in Rockville, but a few schools in Silver Spring. So there's that. But, look into it, see if it's a good fit for you and your family. But just know that sometimes people do move to Rockville for the schools. I will also add that various parts in Maryland also have really great school districts. So I can't say it enough. Just make sure you do your research to see if the schools are a good fit for you and your kids. All right, so it's getting a little bit nippy and a little bit drizzly outside. So I actually got back into the car. But what I want to talk about next is another top feature of living in Rockville, which is just Rockville itself. I know that might be a weird thing to say, but there are so many things to do here. So it's really the amenities and the features of living in Rockville. I'm not too far from Pike and Rose, which has expanded so much in the last 10 years. And honestly, every time I go over there, there are so many different things to do. One of my favorite spots over there is Summer House Restaurant. I love their food. They have some great pastries. I actually haven't tried them because I've always tried to hold myself back, and so far I've been successful. Yay me. But there are so many other options there. You have shops, you have like West Elm and Bowling Alley and I just forgot the name. But there's a phenomenal movie theater there where you can it's not your standard movie theater. They do have like the reclining seats, but you can get like a drink or a cocktail and get some dinner before you go eat or eat in the theater. So that's a fun thing for whether a date night, a girl's day, a guy's day, time with the kids. a lot of different things you can do at that movie theater. And then, or a lot of options, I should say, at the movie theater. If you need shopping, you have Target, and what else is near me? So there's like right across the street from where I am, there's like a Bob's Discount Furniture. And there's just so many different furniture stores. I believe there's like an Ashley Furniture further down the street. And that's just to name a few. There's a Lazy Boy. There's like 7, 8 furniture stores here, right? And even if you don't want to go necessarily buy new furniture, if thrifting is your jam, which, by the way, tell me if it is in the comments. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But you have a great Goodwill. That's actually not far from here as well. And if you follow me for more than 5 seconds, in addition to loving certain grocery stores, you know I love TJ Maxx. So there's a TJ Maxx and a Home Goods. There's a Ross here. There's a lot of different gyms in this area. There are car dealerships, or if you need your car to be serviced, if you need to buy a new car or get it serviced, you have options. So in addition to things like the transportation accessibility, Rockville really is a great location just to have access to various things. If you have kids in various music camps and things like that, there's so many different options here. And I already told you about one of my favorite spots for the little people, as in little kids, right? So the ones that want to go and play, like maybe 8 years and under, at the Little Town Museum, that's a great location. So a lot of different features here in Rockville that will keep you entertained, where if you don't want to necessarily go into the city of DC, you don't have to, but if you want to, too far. Okay, so another benefit of being in Rockville is there are always changes going on. I'm so geeked, and I'm also scared because I just found out they have a Home Sense, which is actually where I am in now. Again, I love Home Goods and TJ Maxx. If you don't know Home Sense, it's like Home Goods on steroids, y'all. And I didn't realize there actually was one here in Rockville, tucked in the back, and I just hadn't been over in this area in a little while. So I'm like trying not to look around because my husband's going to be really mad at me and stuff. And because we're in the Christmas season, I'm going to swing around. You see, I mean, just look at all the things they have. And they have even behind me. Let me swing back around here. They have some furniture items, so it's a great place to, if you're making any improvements to your home, whether you live in Rockville or anywhere else. See all these lights they sell, the chairs and everything. Now, I'm not affiliated with Home Goods or Home Sense. Hopefully, they'll see this and sponsor me in some way, but it's kind of accidentally found this in around Christmas time, so I don't know if I'm going to be strong or not. But all that to say, you have things like Home Sense and all these furniture stores and all these different amazing things that just kind of pop up here in Rockville because there is such a community here and there is such a wealth of retail space. It often attracts new retailers. So even if there's something here that you don't, or no, if there's something that you're looking for to come to Rockville, just give it some time. Very easily could show up here because, like I said, this was not here last time I was in Rockville, but it's here now and I'm excited. So there you have it. The pros and cons of living in Rockville, Maryland. Again, the fantastic features of Rockville are the location. If it's right for you, possibly the school district could be a positive, as well as just all the amenities and features that Rockville has to offer. And some of those negatives being the price point could be a little bit on the higher point, depending on what you're working with or what you're working towards. And the traffic, which is actually why I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and get on the road, because I'm hoping I missed the afternoon traffic. If not, it's going to be a long ride home. But either way, until next time, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Or if you want to know more about a certain community here in the DMV area, just holler at your girl. I'm happy to help. And of course, if you're looking to buy within the next few days or in the next year or even next few months, give me a call. Let's set up a day and time for us to connect so that we can help make your real estate goals a reality. Talk to you soon, y'all.